Have you ever felt a shift in her words? Like something deeper is hiding beneath what she says, something that quietly changes everything between you. Because once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Before we go any further, take a second to subscribe and like this video, because what you're about to hear might completely change how you understand love. Most men think love is loud, grand gestures, obvious signals, clear confessions. But real, deep love from a woman rarely arrives like that. It's subtle, it's layered, it hides inside ordinary sentences that don't look important, until you realize they are everything. You see, when a woman truly, deeply loves you, she doesn't just express it through affection. She reveals it through patterns in her language, through the things she repeats, through the tone she uses when she speaks to you when no one else is watching. And here's the part no one tells you. A woman in deep love becomes emotionally exposed in ways she cannot fully control. Her words begin to carry vulnerability, fear, hope, and attachment all at once. That's why if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it completely. You'll think she's just talking, when in reality, she's slowly handing you her emotional world. But if you are paying attention, you'll start noticing certain phrases, not rehearsed lines, not manipulative tactics, but honest, almost unconscious expressions that come from a place deeper than attraction. And this is where most men fail. They hear these words, but they don't understand them. They dismiss them, they misinterpret them, or worse, they take them for granted. And by the time they realize what those words actually meant, she's already changed. Because when a woman loves deeply, she doesn't always say, "I love you," in the ways you expect. Instead, she says things that reveal how much she's investing in you emotionally, mentally, and even psychologically. So what I'm about to share with you are not just phrases, they are emotional signals, hidden confessions, quiet truths that only appear when her feelings go beyond surface-level attraction. If you learn to recognize them, you'll understand her on a level most men never reach. And if you ignore them, you might lose something real without even realizing it. There's a sentence she'll say that most men completely underestimate, and it sounds so simple that it almost feels meaningless when you first hear it. She looks at you, sometimes casually, sometimes in a quiet moment, and she says, "I feel safe with you." Now listen carefully, because this is not a compliment. This is a confession. When a woman says she feels safe with you, she is not just talking about physical safety. She is talking about emotional safety, psychological safety, the kind of safety that allows her to lower her guard in a world that has taught her to keep it up at all times. You have to understand something about women. They are constantly reading environments, people, energy. They are trained by experience to protect themselves, to filter what they say, to hold parts of themselves back. So when she tells you she feels safe, what she's really saying is, "I don't feel the need to protect myself from you." That is rare. That means around you, she doesn't feel judged for her thoughts. She doesn't feel pressured to perform. She doesn't feel like she has to pretend to be someone else just to keep your attention. And here's where it gets deeper. Safety is the foundation of her emotional attachment. Attraction might bring her close to you, but safety is what makes her stay. It's what allows her to open up about her fears, her past, her insecurities, the parts of her she doesn't show to just anyone. But most men make a critical mistake here. They hear, "I feel safe with you," and they either ignore it or they assume it means she's not attracted to them. They confuse emotional safety with lack of desire, when in reality it's the opposite. It's the gateway to deeper intimacy. Because a woman cannot truly love where she does not feel safe. And when she does feel it, she starts investing in you in ways you won't immediately see. She becomes more patient with you, more understanding, more emotionally present. Not because she has to, but because she wants to. So when she says those words, don't brush them off. Don't treat them like background noise. Recognize what she's really giving you in that moment, access to her unguarded self. And once a woman gives you that, she's already much deeper in love than she's willing to admit out loud. Then there's another thing she'll say that sounds almost ordinary, but it carries an invisible weight. She might say, "I trust you." And it may feel casual, maybe even fleeting, but hear me carefully. Trust is not given lightly. Every woman carries the scars of betrayal, disappointment, and broken promises. Trust is her most guarded currency, and when she gives it to you, she is handing you pieces of her heart she has protected for years. When a woman loves deeply, she doesn't just trust you with small things. She entrusts you with the parts of her mind that are messy, chaotic, and scared. Her doubts, her fears, her past mistakes, she shares them because she knows that with you, she won't be judged, ridiculed, or abandoned. And that level of vulnerability, it's a bond that can't be faked. It can't be forced. It either exists or it doesn't. Most men hear, "I trust you," and think, "Okay, that's nice." But you have to understand that these words are loaded. They mean she has calculated her risk and decided against all odds that you are safe enough to hold her delicate inner world. And when she trusts you, she begins to show you her patterns, how she reacts, how she feels, how she navigates her emotions. And she does this because she wants you to understand her fully, even the parts she herself is still figuring out. But here's the harsh truth. Men often fail to honor this trust. They take it lightly. They forget that trust is fragile, and once broken, it's almost impossible to rebuild. And when a woman senses that her trust is being treated casually, it doesn't just hurt. It causes her to retreat into herself, to protect what little emotional space she has left. So pay attention to these words. Recognize them for what they are. A declaration of intimacy, a subtle yet profound way of saying, "I am letting you in, and I am hoping you won't break me." And if you respond with care, understanding, and consistent respect, you will witness a love that is deeper than surface attraction. It's the kind of love that shapes her thoughts, her decisions, and her life around you, not because she has to, but because she wants to. This is where ordinary relationships end and extraordinary ones begin. Another phrase that reveals deep emotional attachment is when she starts saying, "I miss you," even in moments that don't seem like long separations. At first glance, it may sound simple, almost routine, but when a woman who is truly in love says she misses you frequently, what she's really expressing is an emotional dependency that has quietly formed over time. Missing someone is not just about physical absence, it's about emotional presence. It means your energy, your voice, your attention, and your way of being have become part of her internal comfort system. When you're not around, something feels incomplete for her, not in a desperate or unhealthy way, but in a way that highlights how much your presence matters to her emotional balance. When love deepens, a woman begins to associate you with stability, with familiarity, with a sense of calm that her mind naturally returns to. So when she says she misses you, she's not just filling space in conversation. She's acknowledging that your absence is felt, noticed, and emotionally registered within her. And here's what many men misunderstand. They assume, "I miss you," is just a polite or casual phrase. But when it's genuine and repeated, it becomes a signal of attachment. It shows that her thoughts naturally drift toward you even when you are not actively present. That's not something she says to everyone. That's reserved for someone who occupies a meaningful place in her emotional world. A woman in deep love doesn't just miss your company. She misses the way she feels when she is with you, the comfort, the connection, the emotional rhythm that exists between you. And that feeling becomes something she looks forward to returning to again and again. If you respond to this with indifference or inconsistency, you disrupt that emotional rhythm. But if you meet it with presence, attentiveness, and genuine engagement, you reinforce the connection she is trying to build with you. Because at its core, when she says she misses you, she is not just expressing longing. She is quietly telling you that you have become part of her emotional home. There's another phrase that often goes unnoticed, yet it reveals something very powerful about her emotional state. She begins to say, "Tell me about your day," or she asks questions that go beyond surface-level conversation, showing a genuine curiosity about your thoughts, your struggles, and your experiences. On the surface, this may seem like simple interest, but when a woman is deeply in love, her curiosity about you becomes consistent, intentional, and emotionally driven. She is not asking just to fill silence. She is asking because your inner world matters to her in a very real way. This is one of the clearest signs that she is emotionally invested. Because love, at its deeper level, is not just about how she feels when she is with you. It's also about how much she wants to understand you when she is not. She begins to mentally include you in her daily life, even in moments where you are not physically present. When she asks about your day, she is doing more than gathering information. She is building a connection. She is trying to map your moods, your patterns, your stress points, and your wins. Not to control you, but to align with you, to feel closer to you through understanding. And here's what many men overlook. A woman who is not emotionally invested will rarely show sustained curiosity. Her questions will be shallow, infrequent, or purely conversational. But when love is present, her questions become meaningful. She listens carefully. She remembers details. She brings things up later. That consistency is not random. It's emotional engagement in action. This is also how she subconsciously evaluates the relationship. By staying informed about your life, she feels included in it. And inclusion is a key ingredient in emotional bonding. It creates a sense of we instead of just you and me. So when she starts showing genuine interest in your daily life, your thoughts and your experiences, understand what's happening beneath the surface. She is not just making conversation, she is investing attention, and attention is one of the purest forms of love a person can give. If you recognize this and respond by opening up, sharing honestly, and engaging with her in return, you strengthen the connection in a way that words alone cannot achieve. And finally, there is a phrase that ties everything together, one that often appears when a woman is truly, deeply, emotionally invested in you. She begins to say, "I don't want to lose you." Or sometimes it comes out softer, more vulnerable, like she's almost afraid to say it too directly. This is not a casual statement. This is fear, attachment, and emotional priority all expressed in a single sentence. When a woman reaches the point where she verbalizes the fear of losing you, it means you have become significant enough in her life that your absence would create a real emotional impact. Not temporary discomfort, but a noticeable void. She has imagined, consciously or unconsciously, what life would feel like without you, and the thought carries weight. Now here's the deeper layer most men never consider. A woman does not express this kind of fear unless she has already invested emotionally beyond the surface. She is no longer just enjoying your presence. She is attached to it. She has associated you with comfort, consistency, emotional fulfillment, and a sense of connection that she values deeply. When she says she doesn't want to lose you, she is not trying to control you. She is revealing her emotional stake in the relationship. She is allowing you to see how much you matter to her, even if she doesn't fully express the full extent of her feelings in more direct terms. And this is where your response matters more than anything. Because a woman who feels this way is watching how you handle her vulnerability. She is observing whether you respect it, whether you reassure her through your actions, and whether you remain consistent. Words alone are not enough here. Your behavior becomes the proof of safety she is seeking. If handled with care, this moment can deepen trust and strengthen the bond significantly. But if dismissed, minimized, or treated carelessly, it can create emotional distance that is difficult to reverse. So when you hear her say she doesn't want to lose you, understand what she is really communicating beneath the surface. She is not just speaking about fear. She is showing you how much you have become part of her emotional world and how important your presence is to her sense of stability and connection. In the end, love is often revealed not in dramatic declarations, but in these quiet, vulnerable moments where she lets you see what she truly feels and trusts you enough to hold it with care.